So today on the podcast, we have a very special guest. You might have heard of him after he delivered one of the most impressive races you are likely to see on the biggest stage of them all. It's our new Olympic champion, Kristian Blummenfelt. Hello, champ.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, very well, very well. You're in the airport.
Yeah, so now it's like 2 days since the race, and I'm still in Japan, but in kind of in an hour before we are flying back to Europe, and it will really be nice to come back home to Norway. I haven't been home since January, so it will be really nice to finally be back home.
Wow, yeah. So your first time home in 7 months, and you're bringing home the gold.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice, and also to see kind of the friends and family at home that I haven't seen for a long time. It's going to be special.
And have you spoken to them much? Have you heard from back home? I mean, it's been amazing to see the buzz around the triathlon the last, across the week and the build up and so on. But, has the whirlwind stopped since you crossed the line of calls and messages? And
well, it's kind of still ticking in. So I tried to kind of reply to kind of all of them, but I don't know, like for the last 2 days, it's been quite busy, as you can imagine. So I also just try to enjoy the moment as well, and not just being on my phone. So try to
that's true.
Take like a little bit moment off and just enjoy the time.
What's the first thing you do after all the round of interviews and so on, straight after the race? What's the first thing you did as champ?
So then we went straight to the dining hall for some food. Getting up for the race, we woke up like 3 a.m. middle of the night for a small breakfast, and then from there on and until maybe noon or 1 o'clock, like didn't really eat anything, just kind of the nutrition and drinking I got like on the bike and post race, but didn't have any proper food. So we went straight to the dining hall, which was quite good.
So you're sitting in the village, the athlete village, like with the team, with Gus and Casper and Harold, and kind of feeling a bit surreal, presumably.
Yeah, and really relieved, because this has been like a day we have really been working for the last 5 years, basically since the day after Rio. So with Olympics, it's really like black or white. It's either you either like getting the success, or you feel really disappointing for the race. So I was really feeling that for the last maybe 4 or 5 weeks coming into the event, that 5 years of work is coming down to that one single day, and it's really nice to get it out on the day.
Yeah, well, I mean, we spoke to Harold before the race, and he was saying, it was actually all the way back in 2009, right, that you kind of first started plotting the course to this point. So, yeah, you say it was kind of relief. Was it? It was sort of anything other than gold, and you might have felt a bit disappointed.
No, like I said to national media before the race, that obviously I wanted to win the gold medal, and also a podium would be nice, but anything else would be like extremely disappointing. I've been to an Olympics before in Rio, where I finished like 13th, and I didn't want to have the same experience again. I came here for a medal, and I really wanted to race for the gold medal. So it was, for this race, it was sort of all or nothing. And I knew that I've been in good shape for maybe the last 6 months. Like what I've done in training has been quite strong, and I've been able to do it well in the first like part of the season with both Yokohama and Lisbon, and also solid racing in Leeds and also Kona. And actually, the last race in Leeds, I found to be a very good experience because I was really struggling with cramps there in my hamstring. And in the beginning, I thought I was just kind of a coincidence. I got it struggling a little bit with it in Yokohama. But then when I really suffered with it again in Leeds, I thought that maybe I need to do some changing on my bike position. So actually after Leeds, I moved my saddle a little bit more forward to get more, using my quads more on the bike to be able to get the pressure coming off the bike. And I think that helped for the running in early this week.
Earlier this week. Yeah. Well, I mean, that must be quite a big thing, isn't it? Just before the biggest race of your life to make changes like that, when presumably, yeah, like consistency is what you want. That must have been a big thing, no?
Yeah, I knew that I needed to do something after Leeds because normally I feel like I can push quite hard on the bike and still be running. But then in Leeds, I felt the running pace wasn't too high. Like I was losing a minute or so to Alex there, but I think that was more down to a muscular thing than just the pace itself. So I knew that I either had to do more hamstring work the last 6 weeks going into the games, or I had to do something on my bike position. So it was good to get that experience before the games and make sure that it didn't happen in Tokyo.
Mm. So given, you know, the long build up and the sort of intense preparation, and knowing that you'd had all that locked in, and obviously that brings the confidence that everything's in place. But how were you feeling both lining up? So, you know, that swim warm up's done, the bike's in place, and then you all have to line up, and then you have to walk to the pontoon. So
the race itself was actually not that bad. Like I was dealing well with the nerves. It was more tricky to go to bed the day before, like knowing that when like I had to put on the alarm 3 a.m. in the morning, which means I need to go to bed like 6 or 7 in the evening the day before. And also knowing that the people back home in Norway, they had already stood up, and I would actually race on their day, like on the same day, but I still had to do one more sleep.
mm-hmm.
And also kind of thinking about what, like how it would be 24 hours into the future, you know, after the race, and just counting down. That was more difficult to deal with the nerves. On the race day itself, it was just good to get started and do the warm up, and I felt confident after doing the both swim and bike conversation 2 and 3 days before the race. So that really helped with the nerves.
But how much do you reckon you slept that night?
Well, I think I slept like 7 hours. We tried to adjust the sleeping rhythm going into the race because we knew that we had to get up early in the morning. So we started already when we were in Miyazaki to get up a little bit earlier every day to adjust with the day rhythm.
And between the athletes and so on as well, like how was the tension? Obviously, there was that invalid start with the boat situation as well, which nobody saw coming at all. But I remember Johnny Brownlee was saying that sort of in a way helped release a bit of the pressure and tension, and it just let everyone kind of sort of realize sort of, you know, it was just another race situation. Maybe it kind of just cleaned things out a little bit in people's minds. Did you have any of that?
Well, yeah, I think as long as you get onto the pontoon and you get started, it all goes kind of naturally by itself again. It's more the build up and kind of standing in transition, waiting for the introduction. That's more nerve breaking. But then when we first had that first start and we kind of managed to get the kind of a little pre warm up before the big gun, I think that just helped for to wake up the muscles again.
Yeah. And the swim, I mean, it must have felt like job done, right? I mean, you came out of the water about halfway back, but only 30 seconds really from the front, right? So you must have been feeling in a really good spot around then.
Yeah, I felt I've been kind of solid in the swim training compared to what I've been earlier in the pool. So I thought I was in decent swim shape, but also I had the feeling that there weren't many strong swim bikers like we have seen that were in Rio that could make that 8 to 10 guys breakaway happen. Especially when Alistair didn't get to qualified or didn't race. I thought that the chances for having a swim bike breakaway was very, very small. And I could maybe potentially have swum 10, maybe 15 seconds faster if I went really, really hard to make that risk. But I had kind of the feeling that if I do that, then Gustav and Kasper is just going to bridge everyone up anyway. So I knew that I was surrounded by Alex and Hayden and Jake, and also Kasper and Gustav was behind me. Kasper was just in front. So I thought that we had quite good control on the first kind of the swimmers, and also that I really had the feeling that it would come down to a 10K race. And for me, it was all about just saving myself until that 10K.
So the pre-race plan wasn't for the three of you to try another, sort of Bermuda type breakaway, or and Alistair not being there, did that actually change the way that you approached the race then a bit?
Yeah, well, it made it a lot easier to catch up to the front pack, because they are losing kind of the main engine in the front pack. But also, I think the fact that some nation has pure domestic riders in the field made it more unlikely for breakaway to happen, I thought. Like if I tried to do something with Gustav and Kasper, then for first the potential to blow up was significant. Even though it wasn't super hot, it's a kind of a risk I didn't want to take. And also having guys like Matthew Sharp potentially couldn't bridge or do all the work for Tyler, and then he just sitting back resting. So I was just prepared for doing it on the run, because I also thought that it would be a very tough challenge to run against Alex and Maureen Pearson. Although I knew that Hayden could be up there.
So coming off the bike, and were you well set, kind of heading into that? Were you where you wanted to be as you were coming into T2 and then heading out?
Yeah, I must say so. It was a little bit strange the last 20K of the bike after we bridged up to the first pack, because I felt the pace wasn't really on. It was just kind of no one was taking the time to make or take advantage of the bike course. We were just kind of going through and counting down the laps. So I was expecting it to be quite difficult to get a good position coming into transition 2, but it was actually quite fine. We had both myself and Kasper and also Gustav well up there on the last lap, and we managed to be in a good position coming off the bike. And but I was a little bit surprised how many guys we were running together still after 5-6K. So that was maybe the biggest surprise. But then again, I think in the Olympics, we have a lot of athletes kind of giving it a try and putting everything on the line to get on that podium and trying to stay with the front as long as possible. So I was a little bit relieved when we, with 3.5K to go, managed to separate ourselves from Johnny and the rest. So we were suddenly 3 guys there, and I tried to motivate both Hayden and Alex to say that okay, now we have the podium, let's make this podium as safe as possible. So we managed to get that gap down to 4th place, and we suddenly had a situation there where we all had a very safe medal in our pockets.
So was the pace, the pace was a bit faster than you had perhaps imagined as well, like you said, it being the biggest race and also have more people being able to hang in there for that much longer?
I think the pace was on where I expected, but I didn't expect it to be that many athletes hanging on for that long.
Yeah.
So because you never know if someone suddenly kind of put in an attack and you don't really know how your legs will respond yourself. So it's always a little bit like when you're counting down the laps, the first 5K, you're just hoping that you will not hit the wall suddenly. So I was pleased when I saw other runners kind of start suffering.
And then Hayden obviously was sort of the last to go. And then it's sort of, you and Alex both testing each other out. Did you have a sense of where he might be physically at that stage as well? Because you couldn't see his face, we could see his face, and he didn't, I would say, there was some pain etched on there quite early on.
No, it's very difficult. But like the face expression is very difficult to read. Someone they doesn't show too much fatigue in their face when they struggle. Like they have kind of a very plain face, and then you have others, maybe like myself, who look like we are above the limit, but we still kind of feel comfortable. So it's very difficult to read. So I didn't really know how it would go the last K and a half, but I was just hoping that it would be enough.
And boy, was it! I mean, that as that gap extended, and you realised, I mean, there must have been a good 700-800 meters left when you realised that you had broken. Not that you'd take anything for granted that far out, but to be able to come down the chute and actually enjoy it as well, rather than that must have been extra special.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like coming through that last aid station and then kind of the last run in before you take that sharp left-hand turn onto the beach. I knew that, okay, this is just the last minute of push, and then I can enjoy the rest when I get in onto the pontoon or onto the beach again. And yeah, really strange feeling coming into the last 100 meters, knowing that something that we have worked for so many years is really happening. And also that magical feeling crossing that finish line and touching the tape is something I've been dreaming about as well for so many years. I actually looked the days before the race. I just looked at on YouTube at the finish last lap of both the London and Rio Olympic Games, and just trying to imagine myself running there on that last lap, fighting for a gold medal, and to actually be able to do it myself is a really proud moment.
Well, you gave us all an amazing finish as well, and the images as you crossed the line pretty much said it all, I think. And then for you to be able to see that kind of recreated around the world must be an amazing feeling, almost up there with actually winning it, is it?
Well, yeah, I think it's always nice, like coming into the recovery area and see the TV and kind of get the replay of the race. You kind of it's funny how you remember what was going through your mind in the different scenarios of the race and kind of reliving it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to see the race again in the replay. Yeah, I normally watch it while I'm on the turbo and doing a bike session. So yeah, I'm probably going to do that again. And yeah, it's very easy to get excited and kind of suddenly your heart rate is 10 beats too high when you're watching a race like that. But yeah, it's good fun and good motivation. I used to watch the test event race a lot last year when I was in turbo, just to really get the feeling of the course and get the feeling like I know it inside out, especially the bike course, and that helped before the race, I think.
Is that the hardest you've ever had to fight for a win? push yourself?
It's difficult. Like I've been going all out for like a few races, but yeah, one of them for sure. Like I've gone all out before, but for sure I was in the fittest that I've ever been in the race. So and together with pushing myself as hard as I can, that's maybe the combination.
Yeah. And Gustav and Casper afterwards, was a pretty nice moment for all of you. Or I suppose there's so much like the press conference and everything to do as well. Were you able to kind of enjoy it with them? Did you have time?
Yeah, I didn't get to see them too much after the race, like with all the stuff that happening around the medal ceremony, etc. But yeah, they were obviously happy for me, but also I can understand that they have been training for 5 years to get on the podium themselves, and I think they are really hungry and motivated for the next 3 years and getting to Paris and trying to get on the podium themselves.
For sure. Hayden and Alex, pretty great couple of people to share the podium with for you though as well, right? There, you know, that youth and enthusiasm, and you know, the average age of you three is considerably lower than London or Rio, so that must be, you know, nice to be part of the new guard as well.
Yeah, for sure. And also like the last 2 years has really been a change. I guess it's not the same 5 or 6 guys you see on the podium. It's only we've been having like maybe 15 guys on the podium. So it's really a generation change now in the short distance, and it's good to be able to race against the young guns still. So I was the one who was pulling up the average age of the podium, so I feel a little bit old.
As you were lying on the floor, and it was obviously like a strangely quiet situation with no crowd there and so on. Did the sort of silence make everything even more emotional? Can you remember what was going through your head? Was it just like, I've done it, or?
Oh yeah, it was like crossing the finish line. It was just like the super relief of actually reaching the goal that we had for 10 years. But afterwards, I think I was just I had more enough to just focus on myself and kind of getting back on my feet, especially for the first few minutes. I felt that I just needed to kind of puke up the last bit I had been drinking on the bike and the run.
Get that out of the system.
Yeah, just get it out of the system. But at the same time, I had like 1 or 2 persons around me trying to help me. But it's not much help you can get when you need to puke. So I just need to get it out of the system, and then I was okay again.
Yeah. Well, and that all added to the sort of post-race footage everywhere. You know, that coupled with the tri-suit. It's amazing how you go through this all the time and and then it's kind of at the Olympics and the stage and the the reach is unbelievable, and things like that are just everywhere suddenly. It's great.
Yeah, it's been kind of great. You know, it's just it's not just us, the athletes and the coaches, who's trying to step up the game. We also have like partners working, designing special air balls for the course, special tri-suit for the heat, to be able to have all the margins we possibly can. And I saw a lot of people was kind of wondering why we were using like see-through suits, but that's actually us, the athletes, who's been pushing to have the best possible suit. Even though we knew it would be see-through, we knew that it would be worth it. We didn't want to have a thick skin or thick fabric or a black suit that's kind of just keep making you boiling on the run. So all for the basket, for getting all the margins.
Yeah, quite. Well, no, I think it feels like another sort of huge turning point for triathlon in terms of its growth and people just sort of understanding things like that and learning about the fact that it's the best part of 2 hours that you lot are putting yourselves on the line, and these little memes of people who are like, hang on, they swim for that and then bike for that and then run for that. This is incredible. So it's, yeah, I don't know, it feels like a whole nother kind of shift. And then, you know, you'll be going back to Norway now, and maybe there'll be a World Triathlon Championship Series race coming to Norway soon, and that will be quite special as well, presumably.
Yeah, well, actually, I think it's good to use the Olympics to showcase the sport in the country, and especially now before the race, we tried to build like a hype around the race, and we were all saying that we had medal potential in all three of us, and also it was a good time for television in Europe, I think, like or better than most other sports, like kind of early in the night, and I think the numbers from people watching it was good, and as you say, hopefully it's helping and making it possible to do something like they've done in Leeds and in Bermuda, to get a home event in Bergen. So the time will show. Hopefully next year we can be downtown Bergen and having a big race there. That's something that we're all dreaming about, showcasing our town to everyone.
Yeah, well, do us proud in all your interviews and everything when you're back there, and spread the word.
Yeah.
Is it too soon for you to think about what the next race is on the schedule? You know, obviously Montreal, Edmonton, you're right up there in the world rankings, and the World Championship is going to be decided in Edmonton. And
yeah, so I think it's going to be between me and Alex, most likely, or we are like ranked 1 and 2 at the moment. But I also want to win Hawaii this year, so I have, in less than 3 weeks, I have a qualification I need to do in Frankfurt, and then jump onto the plane, stay in quarantine for 3 days, and then hopefully I will be able to recover in time for Edmonton for the grand final. So it's going to be tough, but I will give it a try.
Yeah, well, so in an ideal world, you will do Olympics, grand final, and, you know, potentially world champion, and Kona. That could be the trio, could it?
Yeah. So now I just have to get back home, jump on a TT bike, and get the long rides in. So it's going to be a very busy next 2 weeks. Probably some media attention back home after the race now, and also with the build up to Frankfurt, and also trying to keep a little bit leg speed for Edmonton the week after. So it's going to be a very tricky balance there to both get training in, but also recovering enough between the big sessions.
Yeah, well, I suppose if you're doing long rides, then they can't contact you for interviews, right? So you can just escape, phone off.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to do them while I'm riding, or something like that.
So when you're riding, like, you know, you're here at the airport. It's all about time management from here on, basically.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's good to kind of showcase the sport back home, and trying to inspire more young athletes to take up triathlon in Norway.
Yeah, amazing. Well, both you and Flora obviously doing that in the finest style in the last couple of days. Is it? I heard that you tipped Flora off on what the lucky pontoon number was. Is this right?
Yeah. So I picked number 15 the day before, and she was a little bit late going into the briefing after the swim fam on Sunday, I think. So I told her that she should pick pontoon number slot number 15. That's like the lucky number. And then she went in, and then later on the day when I checked like where everyone was standing, I saw that she actually picked 15. So that's a little bit funny. They're like a place to be on the pontoon.
Yeah, she was. She delivered quite the race as well. Between the two of you, those are two of the greatest runs you're likely to see at the end of a triathlon, I would imagine, for some time.
It was a really different race. Like she was, they were having like a tough swim, tough bike, and she still ran super fast. Well, we had more of a tactical one. Yeah, two different races in the same course. So that was cool to showcase.
Yeah, she was flying as well. Well, Kristian, I know you've got a flight to get to very soon, so just want to say thanks ever so much. Congratulations, huge congratulations on an incredible performance, and safe trip back.
Thank you very much. Good.
Look forward to catching up in Edmonton and seeing how it's all gone.
Yes, that would be good. And hopefully my legs will be kind of recovered after after Frankfurt. So yeah, see you there.
Brilliant. Cheers. Well, there you have it, the men's Olympic champion in both triathlon and modesty. Huge thanks and congratulations again to Norway's Kristian Blummenfelt. Ahead of the weekend's massive mixed relay Olympic debut, we will be hearing from another Olympic champion who turned a long-held dream to gold this week in Tokyo, Bermuda's Flora Duffy. Thanks for listening.